Get it.
POV. Usually POV turns me on, but let's see what GT Garza talking about.
Yo, you ever see a POV title? You gotta click on it, man.
I grew up in a diverse community with black and brown unity. That ain't nothing new to me.
Same here,
Came
same
up in
here.
the hood where all my partners went to school with me. So if I change now, who would I be? My Spanish ain't great, but that don't mean I don't rep. I was born Mexicano, I'll be that to my death. Ground behind the drop, 2013 on your steps. 10 years later, when I drop part 3 on they neck. Too many clout chasing artists, getting stuck in a rut. Instead of having facts, dog, they just making shit up. Like, if
Tell
you
'em.
don't look like this or sound like that, in their eyes, they say you ain't Mexicano enough. Cause I don't use a strong X when I say Mex. That ain't disrespect, I was just raising the text. So when I say Mexican, it ain't to be rude. It's just how we slang our words when we speak in the room. Yeah, I grew up on frost and I grew up on screw. When you put them both together, you develop something new. I know exactly who my parents is, so you don't ever have to ask if I forgot my heritage.
Okay.
Oh man.
Who he talking to? Wait, he's talking
to a lot of people, but he's spent some real shit, man.
He's letting it be known, setting the record straight. Fucking love this shit.
I think it's a response to something. You know, there's a lot of talk going on out there about people with accents and people not being real Mexicans because they rap a certain way, talk a certain way. But I think he's responding respectfully way. So I think that's a very dope thing to respond to what's going on. You know, the what the conversation's about, but do it respectfully because at the end of the day, you know, they in the rap game, Wayne. You gotta.
Yes, sir.
You got to be amongst the same circles, amongst the same events. It's better to keep it, what's that called? Cordial?
You know, sometimes you letting people know without, you know, you having to drop no names. People know. When you know, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes,
But,
sir.
yo, mi gente, you is now rocking with Pura Cultura sin Censura. And this is your boy, Lazy.
And I'm Smiley.
And together, we are the
Maxit Twins.
Man, you know, I got to send a shout out to everybody that be rocking with us, man. Everybody that be sharing the podcast on their stories, on their Instagrams, on their social medias, checking out the YouTube, subscribing.
Yes, sir.
Buying the merch, man. You know, everybody that just know, you know, all the orders that are coming in, you know, you guys are helping us, you know, provide for the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Pay the bills, you know, get equipment, keep things growing and flowing and looking on point, you know what I'm saying? And
Yes, sir.
you know, GT Garza being from H-Town, man, got to send a shout out to Filero, man. He shared our podcast this week, bro, and I was all lit with, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, the fuck, bro? Like we've been rocking with Filero since we was in middle school type shit, you know what I'm saying?
We grew up with all that H-Town music, you know.
We grew up with SPM and Filero on production and sometimes dropping his own raps and shit, you know.
And you know, with that, you know, we've rocked with Grim and Shadow.
Yeah.
So like that's one thing that, you know, that ties in with what GT Garza is talking about, because people that are out here in the Midwest like us, we're out here in Minnesota, but there's also people further, you know, there's people in Atlanta, there's people in New York and all that. We grew up listening to just a lot of rappers from our community. Way they could be either from Cali, but they could also be from Texas. So I think Cali and Texas have a big influence in where the culture's at with the music, you know. So
Yeah.
That's just an example right there. What GT Guard is saying, like, yeah, we talk different, but we still grew up jamming Frost. We still grew up, but you know, when you grow up jamming Frost, but you're in a different state where Screw is such a big thing. Obviously, that's gonna influence your style of music también. So
Yeah.
So yeah. With that being said, you know, we grew up listening to a lot of H-Town rappers, like Filero, Grim Shadow, SPM. GT Garza, and obviously everyone knows we rock with all the Cali stuff from San Diego to LA to up north. You know, we listen to everything, man. So yeah, like you said, man, it's very dope when we see people share a podcast, especially when you don't even know it. You know, you don't even ask for it, you don't even know it. So it's like it's a very dope feeling when you see people rocking with you, man. And it's one of those things that we've been seeing certain people rock with us. You know, shout out to another Texas a Texas person. You know, he's a comedian. For people that don't know, Juan Villarreal.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's a well-known Latino comedian, and he's also shown us love. You know, he's popped up in places that we wouldn't expect him to pop up.
Yeah, he's definitely dropped some lines for us, and I'm like, oh shit! Like, again, he's another vato that we've been rocking with for a minute, ever since the comedy special that he did, coming out with the free SPM T-shirt. You know what I mean? Like he's been repping for a minute, way, and then us just being younger dudes or younger kids, even, I don't know, way, you know, I don't have all the dates and shit, but like kind of find out years later, they're giving us like a sign of I wouldn't say like approval, but like
just a sign of respect.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, I see you guys doing your thing.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that it's kind of like, it's just dope, man. It's just dope to see people that we've supported in the past, like now they support us, and now they see us doing our thing. And it's all love, and it's just a dope thing when you can see your people doing something and you can support it and get behind it and be like, oh man, this is dope. So it's one of them things that is like, it definitely gives us that battery pack, man, and you know, to get in here and talk our shit and make sure that we represent for the culture, represent for our people the right way, man.
Because there's such thing as being able to be like, even though if people rock with you, you know, it's still a thing to be fans of them still. You know what I mean? I know you guys rock with us, bro, but I'm still your fan, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing about me, man. I don't think I'll ever be too. I'll never think that I'm too cool to say I'm a fan of someone still. You know, like we've interviewed people, we've had people on our podcast, we've rocked with people on IG lives, we've talked to people over the phone, over messages, and I can still say, like, even though the people show us our respect for what we do now, like, I'm still a fan of your music. And I think that's one thing that we just gotta normalize. It's like it's okay to be fans of someone. People, for what they do.
People try to like put like a bad name on saying you're a fan. You know what I mean?
Man, you riding dick, bro. Like, man, get off his dick, bro. Like, it ain't being on somebody's dick, bro. It's just showing some respect and giving people their flowers. And it's like, it takes a lot of work, man. You know, like, it takes a lot of work to be a comedian and come out with your content. It also takes a lot of work to be a artist, a rapper, come up with your content and stay consistent. And at the same time, it's also a lot of work to be a podcaster. You know, we're in here recording, but it's not just this hour and a half or 2 hours that we're in here. It's throughout the whole week. We're planning. We're coming up. We're staying in tune with what's going on with the culture to make sure that we're bringing the subjects and we're bringing the conversations that need to be brought to the episode of the week. So it's a lot of work that comes with it, man. You know, and like I said, I'm sure no one complains about that because it's just what we like to do. It's what we love to do. You know,
talking about comedy, way, I don't want to get into it too deep, but I seen you posted on your story about Chris Rock.
Oh yeah. That was funny, man.
That was a new thing that Netflix did as far as doing a live showing. You know what I mean? Not only just like the stand up, but it was just a live event, and then they basically
left it on there.
They just left it on there. But Chris Rock, he did his thing, you know, and it was crazy that it was live. I know that there's been some people that have said that they record their specials live, but I'm sure that if they fucked up somewhere, they wouldn't have released that live. You know what I mean? Like, you might record it live, but if you fucked up, you would have been like, all right, let's edit that part out and use the clip from my other show to cover that, right? I'm just saying that
it's obviously not a bad way to do things.
It's not a bad way to do things. Editing, that's a tool that we should be able to use. You know what I'm saying?
You don't use the tools that are in front of you, then I don't know what you're doing.
Right, you got a tool case full of tools, and you're like, nope.
I keep it too real.
I was just saying that because he was making a joke about like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, right? And then somewhere in there's like, oh shit, I fucked up the joke.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh damn, like.
But then he ran it back, like right on spot. Just ran it back and delivered it the way he had to deliver
intended
it.
To, you know. But I just thought like, oh man, maybe if you wouldn't have like told us, maybe we wouldn't have caught that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he was talking he was like talking so quick and so in the story that if he really wouldn't have just made it a like a statement, like I fucked up the joke, I probably wouldn't have noticed that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but him being live, he realized like, oh shit, we're not gonna be able to edit this. So boom, I just let you guys know.
But that was like the only time where we caught it because, like you said, he mentioned it. You know, he
Yeah.
mentioned something. But throughout the whole thing, I mean, I think that was a good comedy
man,
special. It was
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
He talked his shit about so many things, and I feel like he did a little bit of kind of like what Chappelle does, right? Where he gets kind of like into the what's going on with the culture right now in society, like when he tapped in a little bit with abortion and everything. But then he said it in a way where you're like, hold up, man. I'm glad that you support, abortion, but the way you're saying it, bro, it just don't sound right. You're making it, we want to sugarcoat it because it sounds ugly the way you say it. But it's one of those things, like I said, like Chappelle, like they're kind of really brilliant about the way they deliver it.
Yeah.
Which gets you thinking and makes you feel like, oh shit, like I never thought about it that way, or like, man, you made me feel a type of way the way you said it,
But in a way, it's like it's like letting the extreme rights know, like, dude, I'm pro-choice, but it's also letting the extra woke people know, like, but it's really this though. Let's not try to sugarcoat things and make shit look like all beautiful and normal and shit. No, we are still doing this, but we are choosing to make this okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny when he mentioned we should be able to abort them until they're 5 years old.
Oh, damn. What do you say? Till you get their first report card.
This motherfucker's stupid. So abort this motherfucker.
Like, what do you say? Hurry up and finish your cereal so we can go to the clinic. That's fucked up, man.
Oh, man. But another thing he talked about was his kids, bro. And growing up like non-ghetto, it's like my kids are not ghetto at all. And he's like, I didn't work my ass off and I didn't do all this shit just so my kids could be ghetto. You know what I mean? I did all this shit so my kids could live in the neighborhoods where it's not ghetto at all. You know what I mean? And he was giving examples and shit. And when he said that, it hit. You know what I mean? Because some people, like even within our own family and we joke around and friends and groups and stuff, they'd be like, oh, you guys moved out the hood, man, you guys you guys think this, or your kids are not going to know what it is to be like this, or your kids are. And at the when Chris Rock was talking about it, that's the way I felt. I was like, I don't want my kids to know what the ghetto is like. I can tell them stories and I can give them like real life examples without them having to be the ones getting shot at or being the ones like, oh, we walked to the park and then there was a drive-by and I seen a dude get killed. My kids don't have to experience that. That does not add any value or, oh, this experience is gonna build your character. No, fuck that. Like, dude, I'm your pops. I'm giving you real life stories. I wouldn't bullshit you. This is not to scare you. This is real shit. This is why I left the hood, and this is why I didn't want to raise you there or have a family there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Chris Rock basically,
that's the goal, right? I think he's saying what a lot of people feel is like that's the goal, to get out the hood. But it's also, you never want to talk down on the hood. That's something that we don't do. Because I mean, that was our childhood, and we had a lot of fun times, but we also experienced a lot of crazy shit. Like we really couldn't have been here right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the same time, there's a lot of crazy shit that goes on in the hood, but it's the experience that we grew up in, but we know that we don't want our kids to grow up in it because it's like we were lucky enough to get out of it. Like we don't know, we weren't all lucky to get out of it. Whether you get caught up, whether you get killed, whether you get locked up for a long time, or whether you get caught up in drugs or get caught up in some shit like that, So it's
or
like
some people just get caught up in the lifestyle, It's cool to sometimes hang out on the block, where the neighbors are. Like one thing for sure, I step outside of my house right now, dead quiet silence. Somebody might be snow blowing. You might hear the machine. In the summer, you might hear the lawnmower. That's the noise, right? In the city, you're hearing people jamming their systems. You're hearing sirens. You're hearing, people hanging out in the block. Somebody's grilling. This food smells good. Everything's dope. There's always something. You hear that. What's that new favorite rapper? Trust me, the 5 cars that are driving by, they're gonna be listening to the dude that's on top right now, popping.
Like we said, you want to know who's hot right now? Pull up in the city to the gas station, and you'll see who's hot, because everyone that's pulling up to pump gas or buy something at the gas station is jamming that rap.
Yeah, and the fashion, the hood, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it does have an addictive something there. You know what I mean?
Something about it is like, that's why whenever we go back to the hood, whether we go visit somebody or whatever,
I see you sag your pants a little bit when you go to the hood.
Stay away. It's like when you go back, or even when you're driving past it, way, like it gives you this energy. Way. It gives you this like, it's just a feeling you can't explain. It's a good feeling to be there.
I think the hood gives you youth forever. Way. You're gonna meet a black dude. He is the flyest, and I'm talking about the black hood because that's where we grew up.
Yeah.
But you're gonna meet the flyest 60-year-old dude, talking the slickest,
having this crazy energy.
You know what I mean? Giving you love too. Like, I see what you're doing, young player. Always giving you love and all that shit.
That's a dope thing about the hood, way, because everyone's on that energy. You know what I mean? Like, no one's on that like boring energy. Like, hey man, so what you about to do? Not much, man. You're just gonna go home and just relax. Everyone's like, oh, you know me, man. I'm about to go chill. I'm gonna get me this little 6-pack, man. I'm gonna call up this person.
I got a baddie coming through. Yeah. Ooh, I get them baddies.
So it's like you're always that energy is always up, because you're always. Yeah. I mean, some people call it front. Everyone's always fronting for everybody. Like you're always doing something big, but it's like. It's better to do that than sound all depressed, right?
Yeah.
Like, tampoco don't get too crazy and act like you something you're not. But it's like it's just dope, man, to see people with that, like you said, that young energy, man. Yeah. But talking about young energy, Wade, I just went and got myself a haircut this morning, bro. Shout out to.
I see you, man. You looking sharp, man. You look like you could be working at Wells Fargo, player.
For real, huh? Or T-Mobile, way.
Why do they say that? Every Latino.
So I got the T-Mobile haircut, man.
Every Latino with the comb over fade should be working at T-Mobile.
What's it called? So shout out to the little bro, man, Mask Mickey, man. He's the one. He's my barber, man. Always cuts my hair.
Yes, sir.
So it's like I was out there at the barbershop getting my haircut, and I started noticing, as I was getting ready to go get a haircut, like, bro, like more gray hairs are popping out, man. More gray hairs than usual.
You stressing, bro?
It's not about stressing. We are 37 years old now, man.
Damn.
So I feel like, damn, it was like at 36, I didn't see no gray hairs, bro. And like as soon as I hit 37, like these motherfuckers just start popping up out of nowhere, way. I'm just like, sheesh. Like even in the because we just turned 37 in December, way. So in the beginning, I was like, oh shit, I see one, I see one here and there. But now, bro, it's like they're just like, they're just everywhere, bro. Like they're kind of scattered. It's not crazy, but it's just like one in every different little area of my head, right? So I'm like, man, bro, like that's crazy, way, because it's like. Now I'm getting haircuts, bro, and before when you get a haircut, like you couldn't see them no more because they kind of cut all that area. But now it's like even without it, way, I'm just like, damn, man, like okay, I guess this is what it is, man. Like, and I'm at that point where it's like I'm not at the point where I want to dye my hair yet or nothing like that, right?
You gonna be one of them?
That's what I don't know, way.
So you don't know yet?
I don't know yet.
You don't know what kind of man's you is?
So I'm at the point where it's like. Right now, I'm cool with it. I can live with it because you can't really see it once, I do my hair and everything, put the pomade on and everything. But it's like, once it gets a little worse, where once, you really see like a lot of gray hairs popping out, where like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's like, it's one of them feelings, way, that you never thought about, way, until now they pop out. And it's like, hold up, like, am I ready to have gray hairs like that? Because I feel like, we're at the age where it's like you can let the gray hairs show and it's cool, because it's not too much. Or you could dye your hair. No one was gonna know that you dye your hair because you're still young, you know. So
we better get ready though, bro, because we're faithful brown men. You know what I mean? I hear that the ladies go crazy for the salt and pepper vatos. You know what I'm saying? They like the
mature vatos.
Mature, like that vato's credit score's over 700. Oh, look what he's rolling. He's rolling in a foreign. Okay, he got a wifey. That's okay.
They prefer someone having a wife.
Yeah, bro. Like I just want the fun time. You deal with the stress over there, woman. I'm just fucking with you, but it is a thing though, right? Like the salt and pepper look. It's.
I heard that before. Yeah.
Even like your hairstyle right now. Let's just say we have the same hairstyle, but I keep it gangster way.
Stay away.
Even if you had the salt and pepper look right now, I see motherfuckers on Instagram that have the salt and pepper and they still have the haircut way, so it's still a decent look, bro.
I mean, like Mario Lopez, does he have gray hair?
I don't know. Does that have to age away?
I know, right? We shouldn't compare ourselves to Mario Lopez.
Ese hombre está bello. No, that vato right there, he's in his late 40s, right?
It got to be.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it's like, okay, so one thing's gray hairs in the head way. But it's like once you get gray hair,
I thought you're gonna say the nut sack.
Oh no! See, okay, there's levels to this shit, right? There's levels to this shit.
You age from head to toe, way.
I guess, right? So it's like I was gonna say one thing having gray hairs on your head, way, right? But once they start growing up on the goatee and on the mustache, that's a different level, right?
Yeah.
And then like you mentioned, like once it hits the pubes, man, forget about it. And like you better start I don't know, man. You better start using that Manscaped. You know what I mean,
bro? We don't get any type of funds from Manscaped, bro. Don't be dropping no brands.
You're right.
No, but I thought about it. Wait, because I be trimming. You know what I mean? As a man, I want to ask a question to other man, bro. And if they're man enough.
Hey, we should share. We should put that up on the story, man.
You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
I already know what you're gonna say. Say it.
Okay, well, you use your trimmer to trim your chin and your mustache, right?
Yeah.
Do you use the same trimmer for your nutsack? Right?
I do.
Why do you look at me all like timidly flirty way?
No.
You're like, I do.
I've never been asked that way, so it's the first time. But yeah, I use the same trimmer, bro. It's my stuff, bro. Like, you can't be disgusted of yourself, way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now if you live with like a roommate and is your friend, you guys can't be sharing the trimmer.
No, you shouldn't share shit. Period. Way. Period. I won't drop no names, bro, but I know homie listens to the podcast, way. So if he knows, way. Sometimes you get homies that come and visit, bro, from out of town, way.
Oh damn.
And I'm chilling at the crib, and I'm upstairs. We're gonna grill and getting the, see, like, what do you call that? Marinating the meat and getting the chelas ready.
You were marinating his meat, bro? Oh, man, what kind of friend is this?
No, I'm upstairs with my girl, right? And then we just hear my clippers downstairs. Not the clippers for the head. Wait, it was the trimmer. Okay,
you hear the clippers? I mean, you hear the trimmer?
Yeah.
How loud is your trimmer, bro? You got a little lawnmower down there or what?
Bro, it's some rough forest down there, bro. No, I don't know. I don't know how I heard it, way, but yeah. Does yours not make no noise?
Nah, it's pretty quiet.
Because mine works for double things, bro. You change the tops, way. What is that? You got a friend in me.
Yo, lazy, I'm not at your level, man. I'm not. Mine's for one purpose only,
I'm
man.
just fucking with you, man. But anyways, I heard the fucking trimmer, bro, and I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna trim his fucking mustache or his fucking chins, way.
You had your nuts on his chin, bro.
It's not the first time. He's probably like, this smells familiar.
Oh damn!
Oh damn! See, you talk shit, you look at this pantas. But yeah, about gray hair though, way. Yeah, I've been thinking about it, bro. And yeah, the ones on my hair, bro, on my head, it's like it's it's a reality check where it's like, of course, bro, you know, you're getting to your late 30s way, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be young forever, bro.
I don't think we're getting to our late 30s. But
We
I think
are.
we're in our late
Yeah,
30s.
yeah. I was going to say 39 would be our late 30s. But you're right, bro.
That'll be our last 30, bro.
But check this out, way. I'm not talking smack. It's just being observant way, or whatever the fuck.
Observative?
Yeah. There's vatos at my job, way. Like, I would say at least, man, being nice, bro. Like 8 to 10 years younger than us, way. These motherfuckers got their heads full of gray hair, bro.
And,
Younger cats.
And they're like Latino or
No, they're güeros, way.
And they have like brown or blonde hair.
They have brown hair.
And you can still see all the kind of
bro,
stuff.
you cannot miss it, way.
Damn.
But you know what's the two things that those two dudes have in common? They both work 2 full-time jobs, way.
Oh, snap.
So you cannot say that working, you know how it's a thing on TikTok, I don't know if you've seen it, but bragging like, I work 16 hours a day. You know, I work 70 hours a week, motherfuckers. You know, we out here grinding and getting it. You can't tell me that is not...
Take a toll on your body.
Yeah, bro. Like, the two things that those dudes have in common, or the thing that those dudes have in common is they both work 2 full-time jobs. Friday through Sunday at my job, and then the Monday through Thursday at a different full-time jobs. 2 fucking full-time jobs, way.
Damn.
Sad about one dude. Like, I think it took a toll on him, way. You know, I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real, way. I'm not trying to, like, disrespect anybody, way. But one of them, he started having seizures, bro. You know, and it's like, dude, you know, you don't want to, like, throw salt on injury or whatever you say away, but it's like, bro, you've been working.
You don't want to add insult to injury.
Yeah, my bad. You've been working these 2 full-time jobs for at least 4 years now, way. And I think his body, he really, you know, when some people say you burn out, way, that's a real fucking thing, way.
That's a real thing.
And he started having seizures, way. Now he just shakes, bro. Now he shakes.
Oh, damn.
He had to quit. And you would be surprised how, lo voy a decir en español, güey, porque aquí cambian las cosas, güey. Cómo la compañía cambió su, cómo lo trataban, güey.
Like attitude with him?
Yeah, güey. Like, cuando quitió, güey, ni lo dejaron quedarse ahí porque tenía miedo que iba a tener otro seizure, güey.
Cuando quitió what, though? The other
el
job?
trabajo. No, quitió el trabajo donde yo estoy.
But why did he... What do you mean? How did the company change? If he had quit, how did the company change?
Porque, like, lo querían sacar, like, él quería despedirse de todos, you know. Hey, puedo ir a despedirme de la gente. Like, no, te tienes que salir ahorita. Because tenían miedo que iba a tener un ataque, güey. And ellos iban a tener que tener responsabilidad de eso, güey. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And I'm like, this vato's been here for 4 years, güey. And, like, I know that it's an equal exchange, right? Everybody's like, yeah, he's giving his time and they're giving the money. That's the equal exchange, right? But me is like, can we have the decency to at least let this vato say bye to his coworkers, bro? Like, no way, así, way. Boom, 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 out. Y nothing to be said about this vato again, way. And
that's
I'm
the
like,
thing, bro. I think that's the thing. Once you get older, way, like, and you've experienced certain behaviors of companies, you start realizing that it's like, man, they really don't give a fuck about you, and like. I think we've all seen memes and stuff where it says like the day you die, your job will be reposted the next day or the next week, right? So it's like don't burn yourself out for a job. Don't prioritize your job over your family because
or your health
because you know they really don't give a fuck about you, right?
Because you know, everybody has those company meetings, way, and they sound beautiful, especially if people know how to talk that talk, where it's like, we're a family, and we're gonna, you know, isn't that like that family word gets thrown around, you're like, all right, you know what I mean? And then you're like, I wouldn't treat my family member like that. Like, y'all did that family member dirty, and he didn't even deserve it, you know what I mean?
He wasn't even the black sheep in here,
you know what I mean? Like, I would understand si fuera de alcohol or de drogas or, you know, he fucked up. Like, oh, yeah, bro. Like, yeah, he had to go, you know?
Yeah.
But a health issue is like, bro, come on, bro. We could be a little bit more empathetic to this situation. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
But going back to, like, you know, you said, like, they're güeros and they look like they're older than us probably. But it reminds me of how, like, certain races just look younger longer, right? Like, I feel like I think it's kind of well known that güeros usually look older than their age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the way they dress or the way, I don't know what it is, man. But usually, for the most part, güeros look a lot older than what they really are.
Yeah, they throw a polo shirt on, bro. They look like straight fucking adults already.
Responsible adults, bro.
No, it's facts.
But it's like, and we all heard that black don't crack, right? So black people always look younger than what they are, you know. And I think we've all worked or had friends or neighbors that are black, and they just look a lot younger than what they are, bro. I've worked with people that were like in their 50s and 60s, and you would think that they're in their 40s, not just by their appearance, but by their energy. You know what I mean? Like, I think everyone knows that black people got this type of energy to them. Like, you know, they
pimp walk. What up, pimp?
What up, pimpin'? No, but it's like they got this energy that is like, it's like they stay youthful for you know, as you know, for a really long time.
Fashion
and
the music
and the lingo.
Like, to be honest with you, keeping it real, bro. If we meet like a Mexican cat that's 50 years old, and we'll be like, he will never come up to us and be like, and this is, you know, it'd be rare if it happened, but he would never come up to us and be like, man, y'all hear that new Lil Baby just dropped? Or y'all hear that new J. Cole or something? Mexican cats, they stop listening to rap. There's like a cutoff. There's a cutoff for a lot of them way. I don't see myself being that, but for a lot of Mexicans way or Latinos way, they listen to hip hop to a certain age period, and then after that it's like strictly cumbias, corridos, or salsa and merengue or some shit way. I don't know, bro. But anyways,
no, yeah, you have some truth to that.
The black homies way, they'll always be like, man, you hear that new Kendrick Lamar, man? That's just fire. Oh man, I haven't caught it. Man, check out this track. Boom, boom. And that's what I mean. Like, it's not like you're having a conversation with a 50-year-old. You don't feel like it. You feel like you're talking to one of the boys, you know?
Yeah. No, that's facts, way. You know, because like you mentioned, I feel like music keeps you youthful, or keeps you young, I should say. Why the fuck am I saying youthful? So music
you a journalist talking that language. Talk dirty to me, Smiley.
Music keeps you young, fashion and all that keeps you young. And I think, you know, for people like us that grew up in black neighborhoods, we grew up around that, we saw that, and we know that, right? Other people might not know that, you know. And I was gonna say something about Latinos, man. Oh, so the thing about like Latinos, bro, like for a lot of us, like we don't keep switching up our lingo, you know. Nowadays, when someone's lying, what do you say
in English?
Yeah.
Cap. That's cap.
Cap.
I'm just playing. I don't use that term, but I understand.
Well, that's
term.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like if someone's lying, that's cap.
Yeah.
Right. Mexicans or Latinos, bro, we are
puro pedo, carnal. Puro pedo,
puro pedo. So we don't switch up our lingo, right? It pretty much stays the same.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between the different cultures. Like we kind of keep it similar. I mean, there's a few words here and there that we do switch up, but it's not like you know, crazy words. Like now if you say, man, you lying, it's like, you lying, bro.
Lying. What the fuck is
you
that?
capping, bro. What you mean you lying?
I can't get used to these new terms, but I understand it.
I understand. I never use them. Like nowadays, like if you got game, they call it you got Riz.
Ooh.
So it's like, that's another one. You know what I mean? So there's so many things, so many words that is like, I don't use them personally.
I can't even think of the term, but they call it like Rizology, like all these terms.
You
like,
went to school of Rizology.
Yeah. It's like that Riz, bro.
Yeah.
And that comes from charisma, right?
That's what I hear. That's what I've heard.
Then again, you know, I don't look too much into it, but if somebody says that boy got Riz, I just know that dude can pull some bitches.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think people say pull bitches anymore. Damn, look at me, given my age.
No, so I'm saying like that's the difference, you know. But as far as Latinos, so like we said, güeros, they usually look older than what they are. Morenos, they look younger than what they are. Latinos, it can go either way. You know, it really depends on where you at. You know, like if you're more on the hip hop side of things, you kind of stay looking younger longer.
Yeah.
And if you're like into the vaquero, more of that style, it could go either way. You might still look young, but for the most part, sometimes you look older. You know, but like us, right?
Mexicans, you just roll the dice. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Like us. But it's like, yeah, man. And Asians, they look young too. They stay looking young too for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that.
We looked at each other like, you want to go there? I don't want to go there.
I was like, should we go there? Nah, we should probably get into the topics for the week.
I don't fuck with Asians, bro. You know, them motherfuckers be the ones doing drive-bys to slow jams, bro. Them motherfuckers merciless towards ops, bro.
Yeah, shout out to all the Asian homies out there, man. But man, let's get into some of these topics, man. We got quite a few things that are going on this week, man. Where should we start, bro? Should we start something light? Should we start something?
Let's start light.
Start light, okay, man. Well, then let's start light. Let's start off with saying congrats to Alexa Grasso, bro.
Oh yeah.
Being the first Mexican woman to win the UFC champion.
Mexican born, like actually
Mexican born,
from Mexico. Yeah.
So she just fought Valentina. I can't say her last name. I'm not gonna even try. But she's from Russia, I believe.
Yeah. And you know Russians are, bro.
They're tough too.
They're one of the toughest fighting opponents that I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look who beat Canelo, way. You know?
Oh yeah, we don't mention his name. His name is banned in the culture, bro.
Oh, you cancel culture? Oh, okay.
No, he's banned.
Okay.
He's not canceled. He's just banned until the rematch. Until Canelo comes back and
Canelo and David Benavidez gonna have to jump that boy. Hey, bro, that Russian cat made it David Benavidez look like a.
Oh, I didn't know he fought him too. David Benavidez.
Oh no, I think my bad. I think he fought El Zurdo.
Oh, did he beat El Zurdo?
Oh, yeah. They call him the Mexican assassin.
Damn.
I'm just fucking with you. I just made that. I'm talking shit and I got my Mexico. I'm still proud as fuck, bro.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what happened.
We could take putazos with.
The dude
Not the first time we get our ass beat.
The dude beat Canelo, man. So we gotta accept that. But anyways, Alexa Grasso, she just won the championship, bro. That was really dope. I caught the fight on TikTok. Shout out to them.
Bro, why you snitching?
Oh man,
like that's why your uncle Biden, El Tío Biden, wants to fucking ban TikTok.
Yo, man, I just want to give people some information if they can't catch it on. If they don't want to pay that $70 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
you know, you can catch it on those apps, man. But anyways, man, it was not an easy fight for Alexa. You know, she actually. There was moments where I thought she was actually gonna, you know, get taken down and like she was gonna I don't know, get like on a chokehold or some kind of leg lock or something that would make her tap out. But she somehow kept getting back up, man. And then there was one moment where the commentators weren't too happy about it, but there was quite a few times where they were just kind of wrestling and there wasn't much happening. So then the referee broke up the fight and just basically told him stand back up. The commentators weren't happy about that. They were saying like, I hate it when they pull them apart and they get them up. It takes a lot of work to do a takedown and then you get them up. But if you were watching the fight, nothing was happening. There was like nothing that you couldn't see nothing coming out of those moves, right?
They're basically just cuddling really hard.
Cuddling really hard. Yeah. Tough love, man. But
you look like you haven't been cuddled in a while.
yo, man. The cuddler, man.
The cuddler.
Don't forget the name, man. I'm the cuddler. But anyways, man, I was happy to see when Alexa Grasso, she throws them hands, bro. I kind of wanted to see a little more stand-up fight because she was doing her thing, throwing them things, man. But she saw an opportunity. She jumped on Valentina, bro, and took her down, choked her out, bro, and made her tap out, and she took it, man. And it was really dope to see like all the flags in the stands. The commentators were saying "Viva Mexico."
That's crazy, huh?
And then fucking Conor McGregor, también screaming in the crowd "Viva Mexico," bro. So it's like that's just a very dope thing, bro, because it's like that type of energy that we put out whenever Mexicans win is like it's contagious. So it's like we made that contagious of when a Mexican wins, you just want to scream out "Viva Mexico," bro. Like
you want to be part of the
celebration.
You want to.
It's like even if you ain't Mexican, like it just takes over you. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really dope, man. I think that's a dope thing about our culture and a dope thing about our fighters and the real fans that stay supporting and are always there rooting, bro, even when things ain't looking too good. Because that energy passes through to other people that are not Mexican way. So it was very dope to see our country
Paisana.
being our paisana, but our country so much respect being showed for it.
Yeah.
And it was so dope to see Alexa Grasso win that championship, man.
Yeah.
And she's joining some other UFC fighters, bro. Right now we got three Mexican champs right now in the UFC, man.
Who we got?
So we got Yair Panther Rodriguez, and then we got Brandon Moreno, the assassin. So 3 current UFC champions right now, bro. Like in the UFC, like we've been dominating boxing for a long time. You know, when people know they're gonna fight a Mexican in boxing, they know it's not gonna be easy, right? Because Mexicans are known to fight it out till they just can't fight no more.
Yeah.
Now Mexicanos are getting into the UFC, and it's like it looks like we're quickly starting to dominate that sport también, bro. So it's really dope to see it, man. Something about us, something in our blood that we love to fight.
El desmadre, güey.
We love to fight. We love to see people fight. We love to see our people win. And I think that's really dope, man. I think it's dope that we are that Mexicanos are shining in UFC.
Yeah.
But let's not forget who set it off, man. You know, Cain Velasquez, the first Mexican heavyweight in the UFC to be a champion. And he set that off for us, man.
Yeah, he did.
And so we can't, you know, it's dope to celebrate the people that are currently holding those belts, but let's not forget who gave us that initial pride in the sport of UFC, man.
Yeah.
And from what we've seen, Cain Velasquez is not just a champ in the ring, but man, that vato's a real champ in real life, bro. You know, because he's gone through some of the shit that, you know, no one ever wants to go through, and he's staying positive and he's staying out there, still trying to move forward with his life and with his family, and you can see that on his social media. He's moving forward after all the crazy things he's gone through. So I feel like he still deserves his respect, man. You know, just for being the champ, but also for being a real stand-up dude, man, standing up for his family. So shout out to all the Mexican fighters and that are holding those belts in the UFC. And you know, people right now, like as we speak, there's people training right now. We're gonna start seeing a lot more Mexicans coming into the game and taking over, man.
And they want us in the game, bro, because we're good for the economy when it comes to shit like this, bro.
We love to see people fight, man.
We will. Those fights will sell out. You know what I mean? When they know there's a Mexican champ, or you know, they're gonna the cards. If you have Mexicans in there, that leads up to the main event being a Mexican fight, bro. Sold out event. The city's gonna be flooded. Wherever they're fighting, fans are gonna come through.
Yeah.
We're gonna be partying. We're gonna be spending money. We're gonna be traveling.
We're gonna be ordering fights. Because
ordering fights.
What's one thing that Mexicanos or Latinos do when there's gonna be a big fight? We get together. You know, we do a carne asada, get some chelas, bro, and all gather up and order the fight, and you know that's what we doing that night. You know what I mean? So we are definitely good for the economy when it comes to that, and that's why in every sport, I feel like they try to make sure that Mexicans get involved. But talking about fighting, man, finally the fight that we've been wanting to see for a while, Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis. Finally, that fight is set for April. I forget exactly the date. I think it's the 22nd, but don't quote me. Make sure you guys check that. But it's like, this is going to be a tough fight for both of them. I think it's going to be the toughest fight for each one of them. But I feel like it's going to be a very dope fight to see no matter what, man. I think it's Ryan Garcia is going to bring the speed, and he got the power to hurt somebody. Gervonta Davis also got speed, but you know, I feel like
he has a lot of speed.
He has a lot of speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really see him for speed, but I feel like he's just a really strong power puncher.
Yeah,
bro.
he is too.
So that's one thing that Ryan Garcia is obviously going to have to be careful, because we've seen a fight where Ryan Garcia actually got knocked down. You know, and it was a fighter that we didn't expect that was going to hurt him.
And we've seen Tank fight Leo, right? Leo
Santa Cruz.
And Santa Cruz is a very skilled and he's a beast, way.
He's
But
a
he
beast.
just couldn't.
He didn't have the power to
He
hurt
didn't have
him.
the power to hurt him, and then he got broken down by them power hits. You know,
And he got knocked out.
he got knocked out really bad, way.
That
So
shit hurt. That shit hurt to see.
yeah, and somebody at Leo Santos, what was his name again?
Leo Santa Cruz.
Leo Santa Cruz. Of him being like a well-respected boxer and established, way. I don't see people seeing Ryan even at that level, but we do respect that he has more body, right? He's
Yeah,
a little
he's a
bit
bigger dude.
He's bigger, he's quick, and I could see that he has power in his punches too. That I feel like Tank will respect those hits and play it a lot more safer, because I felt like in that Leo de Santa Cruz fight, he didn't respect his strength, so he just kept going at him.
Yeah. And I think the fight starts, and we've all heard this before, especially Mike Tyson makes sure that he reminds people, the fight starts way before you get in the ring.
Yeah.
The fight starts when they're doing these face-offs, and they're talking shit back to each other. And I got to admit, man, I love to see Chicano and Mexicano be able to talk this shit back,
Yeah.
man. Because for the most part, we see Mayweather talking shit, and it's like, cool, it's funny and all that. Now we see Gervonta Davis, and we see other fighters be able to talk their shit. But now to see like someone from our culture, bro, be able to talk their shit way is dope, because it's like that's where you got to start the fight way before the official fight. You know,
Yeah. There's not many. My bad to cut you out, way, but there's not many good shit talkers, way.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like Canelo, he's challenged with the language barrier. I think it's David Benavidez. He talks his shit.
Yeah.
And I can't think of someone else, but it's like for the most part, there's a language barrier. But it's like it's good to see someone be able to compete with the shit talking as well as being able to compete with the boxing, man. So
Who's the best? Doesn't matter if they're Latino or not. Best shit talker when it comes to presses, fight press.
well, I think so far the only one we've truly know it's gonna be Mayweather.
I think McGregor is the best shit talker.
Oh, I thought we were talking about boxing.
No, just fighters
Fighting in general.
I don't think Mayweather's a good shit talker.
I think when it comes to boxing, I think he was good at instigating and really pissing people off. But yeah, like shit talking, like continuously like that. Yeah, I think McGregor showed that when they fought against each other.
I think Adrian Bronner is a good shit
Yeah.
talker. And Ryan Garcia is, man. He was quick with it.
Oh, he got Gervonta a few times, man.
Because Gervonta, he talks his shit, but he's not that loud about it. You know, he's like very like chill talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he told Ryan Garcia like, yeah, that's why you're wearing high heels or something. It's like Ryan Garcia was like, man, shut up. Last night you were wearing a purse.
Yeah.
And I was dying.
And the funny part about it is that he was.
And he still had that purse right there.
Yeah. And then there was another funny part where Gervonta's talking this shit, and then Ryan Garcia's like, man, shut up, man. You look like you fell into a fucking rainbow or something, man. Because he had like a very puffy, colorful jacket. And he said a couple other things which they were funny, they were quick, and just builds up the fight way. You know, like at the end of the day, we know it's a sport. They're probably gonna end up shaking hands after the fight, but it's still exciting to see a fight get built up, the tension get built up to the main event, and then we can all enjoy it. At the end of the day, it's gonna be dope when we all get to enjoy a good fight, man. So be looking out for that one. That's gonna be a good one, man.
Yes, sir. Who you going for though?
Oh man, of course I'm going for Ryan. Wait.
I'm going for Haki. Like, you see the flag on me?
Yeah, bro.
I'm going for the Mexican cat.
That ain't no question. But let's move into some of the stuff that's going on, man. This week it was very dope. We got to see that the governor of Minnesota, his name is Tim Walz, he signed a bill that's called it's basically called driver's licenses for all, right? So it basically allows undocumented immigrants to be able to go get their driver's license. And I'm assuming they'll probably be, if they're not licensed, or they're probably underage, they could probably even get like identification, their ID, right? Because that's also a big thing that you can show proof of who you are, right? But yeah, so he signed driver's license into law, so which that's gonna be able to help a lot of our people out, man. Because for the most part, we all grew up in the communities we grew up in, and we all have family members, and we were blessed that our mom, you know, she took us to go get our licenses or our IDs when we were kids. We were like,
in Oregon.
We were like 10 years old when we went and got our IDs.
Yeah.
And those and at that time, this was in the 90s. When they give you an ID, they also issued you like a social security number or something like that.
Oh man, let me draw. Come on now, bro. The feds is watching, bro. The feds is watching. They might come and revoke your shit right now, player.
This is known information, man. Because they issued us our IDs, and then they issued us a social security number. But on that social security card, it said not valid for employment. You know, so it's
and
just
we followed the rules.
Yeah, of course. But so it's like, so back in the days, if you didn't take advantage of those privileges that were available, like you grew up and you got stuck without having a identification or ID, and you weren't able to go get your driver's license, right? So here in Minnesota, they were doing that, I mean, back in the 90s, but then they stopped doing it during, I believe, I believe it was close. If it wasn't the 9/11, it was very close to that. I think 9/11 had something to do with it. But it's very crazy because for a lot of times, man, like our people are just trying to get to work, right? They're either trying to get to work or trying to pick up their kids at school or take them to school, whatever. And it's like, to be risking yourself to get deported or get locked up or to lose your car just to do you're not doing nothing wrong. You're like, you're trying to get to work, or you're trying to, like I said, take your kids to school, and you're in the back of your mind, you're worried about getting pulled over because you don't have an identification, you don't have a driver's license, which if you don't have those, it's obviously hard to go get insurance for your car, right?
Yeah.
So it's like having those unnecessary fears, man, that sucks. And we all known people like that. We've had people that had their cars taken away. We have people that got locked up. We've known people that been thrown in jail and ended up getting deported, all because they just weren't able to have a driver's license.
And just having unnecessary fines. And those fines, bro, they're in the couple hundreds, $300 way to a community that we're already struggling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, man, we're just trying to get to work, man. And I was like, now I got to go.
This whole week is basically useless. It's pointless now because this paycheck this week is only going to be to pay off this fucking ticket.
Yeah. So that's a very dope thing, man. I'm glad we live in a state that what I forget what those states are called, man, where it's like
progressive.
Not progressive, but it's like
blue.
Stay away. No way. It's like where they help immigrants way. Like what's that name?
Don't get mad at me porque estás way, dude. This dumbass fool gets mad because you don't got the answer. You don't got the answer, Sway. You don't got the answer, Sway.
Man, it's because you give me the wrong answers,
it's
man.
Like asylum or...
it's a word. I always forget it. Someone commented in our comments last time, and look at me forgetting again. But anyways, they kind of look out for immigrants, right?
I'm not even going to try to help you no more, player.
All right, man. So I'm glad we live in a state like that where where it's not a state where it's just trying to target immigrants and trying to get them deported and trying to keep them in fear, keep them in the shadows. Obviously, this is something that they had been working on for a while, so it's dope to see that it finally went through, man. Because it's also gonna help the economy. You know what I mean? Like, people can get to work. People can probably, I know we're talking about having two jobs is a bad thing, but a lot of Latinos want to have two jobs. And sometimes there's just no way to do it because you can't find a ride to your second job. You might be able to carpool for the first one, but not the second one. So they'll be able to get another job or even just get a job. And they'll be able to like I'm saying.
You're going to start rapping right there, bro. Get a job. And then, I don't know. You had a little riz to your talk.
You like that, huh? Look at you giggling like a little girl.
Come on now. You trying to get me back, man?
So it's like, you'll be able to also buy a car. So imagine they're saying that this can help up to 80,000 immigrants here in Minnesota. So obviously it's not just going to help Latinos.
Immigrants,
yeah, obviously it's not going to just help Latinos. It's also going to help people from other countries that are here that find themselves in the same situation of being undocumented. So people are going to be able to buy cars. People are going to be able to buy insurance. And obviously the roads will be safer, because people are able to get their licenses, which you got to take a test and all that, and then have the proper insurance and things like that, man,
and hopefully they're able to travel at least within the states.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't think about that. And that's true because they were trying to pass that real ID. You know what I mean?
Well, the real ID is passed.
Well, they keep delaying it.
Right, it's delaying, but it's still gonna pass.
Yeah.
But that they're gonna be separate though. You know, like all the people that, let's just say undocumented people that are still gonna be allowed to get driver's license, their driver's license are gonna look like ours right now.
I got the real ID.
Oh, you do? Oh shit!
Yeah.
How do you pull that one off? You paid somebody?
I called up the same people that got that Raul Rodriguez's paperwork, man.
Are you gonna go apply for border patrol next?
No,
start letting people in.
Not that far, man.
No, but anyways, so the real ID is gonna come through, and real ID is basically, I think all the states are gonna end up doing them, or
Yeah,
you
it's
can
a
start
federal thing.
Yeah, so you can start traveling out of the country, and what's the main thing for that?
Passport,
right? So you can start traveling with your.
I don't know. I don't know all that.
Okay, but let's just say
because I got the real ID and I still need a passport, which obviously I'm a resident. I ain't no citizen.
Okay. Okay. Well, with the real ID, Republicans that were fighting against the driver's license that undocumented people are going to get, they wanted their licenses to have like special,
like distinguishable thing between someone that's here legally and someone that's here not legally.
And they were not approved to do that. They didn't want people to.
That's a form of like discrimination. That's a form of humiliation.
Then red flag. Then a cop can just be like, oh, well, yeah, you have a driver's license, but you're also undocumented, so I might be legally able to take you downtown anyways. You know what I mean?
Well, so no, they don't do that here though.
Okay. So you're making me sound like I got all kinds of fake facts over here. Actually, in 1999,
no, but what it can do is give you away. Like you go to a bar, you go to a club, you go to an establishment, you go to they see that and people automatically feel that they can take advantage of you because you're not here legally.
Oh,
so
I didn't think about that.
So it's like when you easily give yourself away, you're like an outsider. You're not. It's like an out of towner, right? Like you like even when we go to different states, like you go to New York or Florida or Cali, and they
take advantage of it.
They see your Minnesota ID, they're like, yo, man, we could set these guys up, because it's like we know you ain't from here, so it's gonna be an easy lick.
We get the out of state tax.
Yeah, but Latinos, like we've known people that take advantage of Latinos because they know that it's like, for the most part, if then people are undocumented, they're scared of the law. They don't want to get in trouble with the law. So people can easily be like, oh, you got to pay this or else, you can get a ticket for this or, this and that. And then they could just easily take money out of people, right?
Yeah.
So obviously that's not a good idea. So yeah, man, it's good that they're doing this. And, the Republicans want to fight against it because they're saying that undocumented people will be able to vote since they have ID and stuff like that. And obviously that's not the case. You gotta register to vote, and it takes more than just having an ID. Actually, Minnesota don't even require an ID to vote. So that's why it don't make sense. So overall, man, it's just good to see that people are going to be able to benefit from this. We've seen so many people. We have family, we have friends that were in that situation, and it's like when you find yourself you find yourself in front of a cop when you don't have a license, bro. Like that's a fear. Like some people say, like, oh, I was scared of this, I was scared of that. Nah, try driving without a license and the cops behind you.
Yeah, you're sober as fuck. You're on your way to work. You know what I mean? You're not doing anything wrong. The only situation you're in is that you're undocumented and you don't have a real driver's license, or you don't have a driver's license.
Yeah.
So
and it's also humiliating, bro. Like we've known people, like when we used to go clubbing and we used to go partying and stuff, we used to show up at clubs and bars, and like we've had people in our group that had to like show a passport
instead of ID,
or they had to show like what some people might not know what this is, but it's called a matricula. Which is basically like your ID from your home state. I mean, your home country.
From your consulado.
Consulado, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's different little things like that people had to show to be able to show their age and be able to get into the clubs. And it's like...
Now that I think about it, these people might have had a little anxiety, huh? Like, oh, here I come. This is the moment where I bust out my passport.
Yo, see, that's fucked up.
And I'm just laughing now. I didn't laugh then. I didn't even think about it. I was too busy drinking and ready to party and shit, you know. But like we mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, we had IDs our whole life. We even before we got papeles, we've always had real legitimate state issued IDs, you know. So a lot of people that we hung out with no tenían papeles, way. You know, we in Minnesota, we hung out in the generation when we got here. It was a generation where a lot of people no tenían papeles, way.
Like having papeles, this is the generation we were at. If you didn't have papeles, that was normal.
Yeah, that's normal.
Now, if you had papeles, that was rare. Like, oh shit, like how the fuck you got papers, bro? Like, you know, like it was rare to see someone in our groups in our school like damn, bro, you was born here. Like, nah, it's just that, you know, and they always had this crazy way of somehow they got lucky enough to get their papers. I'm like, damn, man.
The crazy thing is when some dudes would claim to be like Chicano or like born in Cali, and then they got deported and shit. You're like, damn, I thought was lying the whole time. Which is not funny, way. You know, it's a form of like growing up undocumented way. You don't lie. Like the normal ways of lying when you get older is like, yeah, I have a PlayStation at home, you know, I have this game and this game, or yeah, my mom bought me these shoes, but I just don't wear them to school because I don't want them to get them dirty. You know what I mean? Yeah. We lie of having papeles. Yeah, I was born in fucking Texas, bro. You know,
I'm not even Mexican. I'm Tejano, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Don't ever disrespect me that.
I just started learning Spanish 2 years ago, bro. I really didn't even speak that shit.
No, but it's one of them things that our parents even tell us, like, don't be telling anyone that you don't have papers because, you know, if they get mad at you, they pueden echar la migra and stuff like that, you know. So it was one of them things you kept on the hush, but it was like an unspoken thing. Like we all kind of knew we didn't have papeles, bro. It's like none of us was taking vacations out of the country, bro.
It's like that movie Belly. Is that Belly when that dude's like, man, I'm gonna drop them, man. I'm gonna drop a dime on them.
Yeah,
you know. But for Mexicans or like Latinos, undocumented Latinos, like, man, I'm gonna call the migra on that fool over there. That fool stole the girl I wanted to date, man. I'm gonna call the migra on his crib.
I'm gonna get him out the picture. Then she'll be all mine. But anyways, man, so shout out to Tim Walz, man, for signing that bill, giving our people the privilege to be able to go get a license and be driving with no worries in their mind, bro. All they have to worry about is just getting to wherever they need to get to, man. So
and shout out to another local hip hop artist, and she's in the politics now, Maria Isa. You know, I seen her in the mix. For the people that rock with us that are from here from Minnesota, you guys have definitely heard of Maria Isa. She's a dope hip hop artist, period. And now she's in the political game, man. So
and she's for the people.
Yeah,
man.
She's for the la gente. You know what I mean? She's a full proud Puerto Rican,
raised on the west side of St. Paul. So she's Puerto Rican, but she grew up with Mexicans.
Yeah,
so she got a lot of love for the culture, man. The people,
sir.
Man. So shout out to her también doing her thing, because every time I see her on her social media talking about things, she definitely lets it be known that she's Latina, and she definitely lets it be known that she's for la gente, bro. So that's dope. We need more of that. You know what I mean? But the next thing that they need to pass
with that haircut, you could be next.
yo, if I can get hired at T-Mobile, then I passed the first test, bro. But now the next thing they need to pass here in Minnesota now, man. Now that they got that, they need to pass the marijuana bill, bro. Like,
¿a poco fumas, güey? Che, vato culo ni fumas.
Yo, man, I was trying to sound gangsta up in here,
Last
bro.
time you smoke, you're like, I'm paranoid. I think everybody's looking at me, fool.
Nah, see, I don't smoke and I don't do marijuana because I live in a state where it's illegal. Okay,
Yo pura coca, homie. Yo pura coca, carnal. Jokes, mi gente.
This is all jokes, mi gente. But yeah, they do need to legalize marijuana, bro, because it's gonna you know, it's just a worry, and it's just something that it just don't make no sense, man. And if they really pay attention to how much is benefiting other states, then you know they'll definitely see how much Minnesota could benefit from it. So I think it'll be dope, man. Where, you know, now people can drive without having to worry about getting pulled over, and it'll be dope to be able to smoke a little something or eat an edible. Because if, you know, when I was in Cali, I bought some gummies, and the gummies is my shit. You know, I don't smoke, but I'll pop a gummy here and there when I'm in Cali. You know what I mean?
Pop a gummy, man. You chew gummies, bro.
I pop a gummy, homie. That's how gangsters say it. Como que chew.
You fucking pop a fucking vitamin gummy and you try to act like it's fucking edible.
Still, vato. But let's move into something a little more serious, bro. Something that I feel like obviously a lot of people heard about it. A lot of people seen it on social media. It was a major topic of the week. The 4 Americans that were kidnapped in Matamoros, Mexico.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I think we all started hearing about it on Monday. For some of us, we seen the video. Very narco vibe. When we see the show Narcos,
Yeah.
it was that was that in real life, man.
Yeah.
So it was very crazy to see. So much speculation going around this story because we hear different information from different areas and different people's speculations that get us thinking like, oh yeah, maybe, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's, you don't want to, like when I first heard this, we didn't know whether they were white, we didn't know they were black, we didn't know anything. We just heard Americans, right?
I'm glad that United States said Americans, like just Americans, period, bro.
Yeah.
Give them the respect, like, because if they would have been like 4 African Americans, it's like a lot of people wouldn't give a damn, bro. Like a lot of racist people would be like, oh, who gives a damn? You know what I'm saying? That's just my take.
That's
on
true.
it. I'm just saying
that's
that.
true. So we first heard that and we're like, damn, that's not good. Being Mexican, like from Mexico, like when I hear stuff like that happening, I feel like, man, that's a very bad look for us. It's like, everyone knows a lot of American people like to go down to Mexico for like spring break or for vacations, and prostitution's one of them big ones nowadays. The passport boys is heading out everywhere, man. But it's like, so it sucks to hear, man, because it's like, oh man, it kind of gives us a bad name, a bad look. And obviously the people of Mexico don't like stuff like that because it fucks up the tourist money. You know what I mean? People get scared to travel. And it's like, we know Mexicans from Mexico that are scared to travel. Like, imagine now how Americans feel like, oh, dang, like.
That's true.
And especially when U.S. starts, like labeling a certain type of level of danger that you shouldn't travel to Mexico.
Yeah.
It hurts it hurts Mexico's pockets,
It does. Because most of the people that don't care to even do some further reading or investigating of where it happened, they don't know that Matamoros, Mexico is a border town. They just hear Mexico and it's like, all right, everybody, we canceling all the trips to Mexico this year. We ain't going down there. They killing people down there. You know what I'm saying? So they're not saying like, oh, that's far from Cancun.
That's like a border town that's known for cartel activity.
Yeah, and there's no resorts there where there's like military guards or where we're safe and everything's like protected and shit. Like a lot of people don't go to look for that kind of information. They just say, yeah, we ain't fucking with Mexico this year. Let's fucking go to Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Or something else,
So we started hearing different stories about it. At first people started saying like, oh, it was a drug deal gone wrong. And you don't want to like start speculating that way because it's like, okay, just because they're African American or just because they're black doesn't mean that we got to start taking that route. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be that guy. To have that type of
to stereotype
yeah.
Basically.
So but then people start saying like, why would because supposedly the girl scheduled a tummy tuck, right? It's a cosmetic surgery down there, and then people are saying like,
it was believable. Do you see the female?
No, bro.
Needed it.
bro, this is this is serious.
I'm not trying to disrespect. That's what she was going for. She knows she needed it.
Okay. So people are saying the reason why people aren't believing that is because like why they're saying like why would a girl choose 3 dudes to go down with her for that type of trip, like so after surgery you need a certain type of care. Like why wouldn't you taking one of your female friends that are obviously we know women are better at taking care of people or being better help when someone needs it than men. You know, men we're not. I'll take it first hand experience. Like, I always tell my girl, like, you need to tell me what you need. Like, I'm not good at knowing, like, oh, you need, you know, like after she had like kids and stuff like that. I'm like, if you need something, you need to tell me, because sometimes you just don't think about, you know, like out of your own head, you don't think like, oh, she needs this or she needs me to do that.
Yeah.
Like I always tell her, like, you need to let me know. Like, I don't mind doing it. I just need to know what you want me to do, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's like they're saying, like, why would they take dudes instead of a friend, one of their girlfriends that would be able to help her out?
I think there was one girlfriend. I don't know if you read that article where it says that she forgot her identification cards and passport or whatever. So she got dropped off in Texas or some shit.
She got lucky.
Yeah, she did.
So that's one thing they're saying, that is like she was going down there for a tummy tuck. They got, and then they were saying they got confused for other people,
Haitians,
for Haitian drug smugglers, and like
Haitians be everywhere. Watch out with them Haitians.
So what they're saying is like they rammed the car and then they just started having like a shootout right there, like right in the intersection. You know what I mean?
Do you call it a shootout when there's only one side shooting?
I don't know, man. And that's the thing. They were saying that there was, I believe that I've heard stories where they said that there was a shootout between other two groups.
Oh, and they got caught
in the middle. So like I said, there's so much to this story, bro, that it just don't make sense, right? But one thing that a lot of people don't mention is that a Mexican person actually got killed in the middle of all this.
Oh, for real?
Like an innocent bystander got killed during the shootout.
Damn.
You know, so that's sad too. So, you know, speeding it up, man. So 4 Americans got kidnapped. 2 ended up getting killed.
Yeah.
And then they ended up finding the other 2 alive. 1 was injured. 1 was okay. And they brought them back to the States and everything. People started going into their records, and not to put no dirt on anybody's name, but we're just kind of reporting what we've been seeing.
Yeah.
That the dudes had drug charges on the record already.
Yeah.
You know, so people are like, of course they were down there. It was a drug deal gone wrong, and then people are like, all right, maybe, right? You know, sometimes it's like,
I thought that before I even saw any of the reportings. I'm like, drug deal.
So it's like, you know, so that was another thing. It's like, all right, you know, maybe. But then, you know, so then the U.S. gets involved. You know, obviously they got to protect their citizens, you know, no matter where they're at in the world.
Yeah.
But they started, more of the Republican side started kind of like threatening Mexico. Like, if you guys don't clean up your act in Mexico, you guys are going to force us to go down there and clean up your act. And the Mexican president, which his name is, I know him as AMLO, but his name is Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, which they call him AMLO for short. He's basically saying, like, he's not going to allow the U.S. forces to step into Mexican territory, and if they do, that Mexico's going to treat it as an invasion. You know what I mean? So basically, like, letting him know, like, no, you guys stay on your side. You guys let us handle it. But obviously that brings us a type of pressure to Mexico. And a little bit after all this talk is going on, like, the cartel turns in 5 guys that say are responsible for the murders.
Jesus, bro. We got to walk lightly, Smiley. Tread lightly here.
You know what I'm saying? We're just seeing what we saw in the news, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're talking about what you guys yourselves even wrote up a, explanation. And you've seen that, right?
Yeah,
like
the letter.
They wrote the letter, and it's not uncommon for the cartels to write letters. This one wasn't that bad. These guys were at least still alive. Usually these letters are with headless people and shit, But anyways, they said that, they feel bad because of the Americans that lost their lives, and that's out of their...
That those guys acted on their own.
Yeah, they're acted on their own. That's not something that they approve. That's not how they move. And just by them going out and acting on their own and doing that fucked up shit, they los entregaron, pues. They turned them in, and it's like, here you go. These are the guys that were all participated in that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought it was crazy, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. The story just keeps getting crazier because it's like since when has the cartel cooperated like that and turned people in alive? You know what I mean? Like,
But you know, I don't really watch Narcos like that, bro. You know what I mean? But for the people that have watched Narcos or even watched any like documentaries of Narcos, it's not uncommon for them to have a communication line with the government. You know what I mean? It's not uncommon for the heads of the people to communicate with the heads of the government and them saying like, dude, this is really serious, bro. Like, you guys got to give us something. Like, this is getting serious where the United States is talking about stepping in. We need to show some, you know, and I'm just talking about what they have portrayed in the movies and documentaries. And it just looks like that, where the cartel's like, all right, la cagaron, güeyes. You know, we got to, if we don't correct this whole thing is going down.
Yeah. No, that's facts. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the pressure was put on, and someone needed to answer to it.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, they turned in five of the members that are supposedly members, and again, it's like, who knows if these people are even responsible for it, right? So it's like,
one guy was smiling in the picture.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, he's pretty damn crazy to be smiling in the picture. He might have done some shit like that, but it just doesn't make any sense, man. It's it's very new to see that they cooperate, that they turn their people in, and if it was a mistake, like the letter says, it was a mistake. It was they confused them, or for whatever reason those people acted on their own. That's really sad that people lost their life off of people acting off on their own and doing that, because supposedly they're also saying that it was a setup. They knew that they were coming in with cash to get a cosmetic surgery, which obviously that runs up in the thousands. So people, just set them up to rob them, right? So it was just a fucked up whole thing is fucked up.
But then when you talk about like cartel people, like they don't care about like $5,000, way. You know what I mean? But I guess you just never know, way. Yeah. But one thing that it did catch my attention, way, because I do follow a lot of like black pages, Instagram, mostly black influencers and people. And one of the things that I seen that some big influencers or like celebrities were saying is like, it's really sad to see that just because they were black and they look a certain way, we judge them like harshly. We see them as guilty before we even get the whole story, right? Mm-hmm. Like I said, I've seen drugs.
Yeah, I was gonna say you was one of them.
Yeah. I seen drugs before anything. You know what I mean? Reportings, and that's just me being stereotypical because of the hood that I grew up in. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a natural survival instinct. Like, you just assume. I'm not accusing people because of racially or just saying those are the only people. It could have been a different nationality. I probably still would have been like, yeah, that kind of looks a little fishy with it, But anyways, these big influencers were saying like, it's a damn shame because there was a lot of like black, and I'm just saying this because they were in these pages, but like black people saying like, y'all know that wasn't no damn mistaken identity. Y'all know this was drugs.
This was a drug run.
This was a drug run, and it was very common. You look down to the comments, everybody that looks at posts these days, they run to the comments because that's where it's at. Mm-hmm. You want to see where the general idea or opinion is at, and the general opinion for people was, this is drugs. These people knew what they was doing. Mm-hmm. There ain't no way this girl is gonna drive from South Carolina or North Carolina, my bad, I forgot exactly where it's at, to the border town instead of flying. Or like, if they're trying to save money, it doesn't add up that she's gonna go get a tummy tuck when it looks like they might not have the funds for that. Or why do they stay at a hotel and so if there's 4 or 5 adults in the car, you'd be switching drivers. You know what I mean? Like, everybody picked at the whole story. You know what I mean?
The whole thing just don't make sense. Like, from beginning to end.
Imagine if it really is just an innocent tummy tuck trip, dude. And it's like, you guys did all the bad moves to look guilty as fuck, right?
That's what I'm saying. This whole thing don't make sense from the beginning to the end. Like,
And
none of it makes sense.
And I'm just reporting from what I'm seeing, and everybody knows. Fuck, look into it yourself, you know. But from what I'm seeing, people reporting it también, there was no clinic.
Yeah.
There was no appointment scheduled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't find that.
The doctor even came out saying, I don't do surgeries on Fridays. So like, bro, this whole thing is just crazy, right?
Right.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, prayers to the family that's involved with the people that lost their lives, and even the people that went through this traumatic experience. Because, like I said, I saw the video, and bro, the way
people getting thrown around,
people being thrown in the back of trucks, and it's like, that's when you realize you're not in America anymore. You know what I mean? Like
like there ain't nobody coming to save you. You know, like in America, you're like, someone's gonna call the cops. You know, we're gonna fix this. No, there ain't no saving you in certain places.
Yeah, in America, you ain't gonna see people being thrown into the back of trucks.
But you know what I was thinking?
In the intersection.
You know, there was a shooting that happened in Chicago, and somebody recorded it from their window, and recorded the shooting that happened on O Block. You know, and they got identified because of the angle where they were recording.
Damn.
and the that crew identified them, like, oh, that's them. They're the ones that posted this shit or lo entregaron to the news. So I'm thinking the same thing might happen in Mexico, bro. Like that, whoever recorded it, they were not only like giving up their location, but they were talking. So it's like, bro, like maybe some people might not share this kind of shit way.
Yeah, that's true, because the angles and the levels of where you're at.
All they gotta do is go over there and stand there and look at the direction where it's at. Man,
not everything is worth going viral on TikTok.
Yeah,
not everything is worth getting millions of views on social media when it could be your life. You know what I mean? Like, and at the same time, I mean, it just sucks way, because like if you don't share it and people don't get caught, it's like more and more of it is gonna happen.
Yeah, and then you live with that kind of guilt, or you live with that some kind of feeling that is like, man, I let this go unjust. There was no justice served because of me.
I guess if people really have something like that, I guess if you really want to share it and get some justice, I guess you have to move out, man. Yeah. If you're gonna share some shit like that, you better be ready to leave, like, as soon as you share some shit like that.
Yeah.
But man, that's just some of the crazy stuff going on. I guess we'll see how that plays out more and more.
Yeah.
I'm sure more is going to be added to the story, because I'm sure the craziness is not done. But
facts.
On a light note, just this week, man, TikTok really gives us a lot of information, man. And I had seen some about the person that created the logo for Apple being Mexican, so then I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? So then I went,
shout out to Apple, man.
Shout out to Apple, right? So then I went on Google and I just Googled it and I found a video, and sure enough, man, this goes back to the 70s when Apple was being the company was starting up and they were looking for a logo. They hired a team, and then it was from what I remember, it was a 3-person team. And one of them was a Mexican dude from Mexico City. His name is Carlos Perez David. David.
Okay, Smiley.
What's it called? And so they were as a team working on the logo. Back then there was no graphic designs, there was no computers doing this. I mean, this was a logo being created for the computers that were going to create the graphic designers.
That's crazy when you think about it.
You know what I mean? So everything had to be freehand, and then they were drawing it, and they obviously it was going to take a few runs to finally get what you like, but it was Carlos's final sketch of the apple with the bite, and back in the day they had a little more added to the Apple logo, like that little side thing. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
But it was his final sketch that was selected to be the official logo for Apple. And like, bro, like, to come to find out in 2023 that a Mexican was involved in the whole creation of the logo. That's probably the most popular, one of the most popular logos in history.
Yeah.
You know, like Apple, you put Apple, Nike, Adidas, you know, like the McDonald's logo, like those are all like recognizable anywhere in the world. You show those and people know exactly what you're talking about.
You love Nike so much you had it in the back of your Mustang, remember?
You had to, bro. That was a chick magnet right there, man.
Had all the plebitas.
So it's like, bro, to find out that a Mexican was involved in that, like that gives me so much pride, bro. Like it fills me up with pride, and I'm sure, like, we posted the video, and that's the same reaction we got from a lot of people. It's just, it makes us all proud to see someone from our culture, our community, be part of that, because that's historic.
And it's crazy to find out in, like you mentioned, 2023, and is it because he's a humble dude, you know? Like, was he not, you know, sharing his story as much as maybe we would have heard it a lot sooner, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, dude, it's like a Mexican immigrant was participated in the making of that, and finally somebody went and report on it, and everybody got the news, and now we get this motivation to be like, yo, we can be part of like dope ass shit, historical $1 billion companies, you know.
Yeah, and it was like a 5-minute video. I cut it down, you know, just because, you know, like I said, attention span these days, people don't like to see long videos. But one thing that he did mention on there was that he did get support from his family as a young kid, you know, and that's what made him believe that he was creative and that he had something to offer, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's very dope. And I think stories like this is what's going to motivate the next generations to be able to believe in themselves. I mean, shit, it motivates us as adults to be able to believe in ourselves. And I just wish stories like these were coming out when we were youngsters and coming out in real time, where we could have heard and seen people like us being part of these, you know, these type of deals and these type of historic moments, that it would have made us believe in ourselves probably more. It would have shown the world how much, like, what we can accomplish, because we grew up in a time where it felt like the brown man was never doing anything right. And this shit happened in the 70s.
Yeah.
We grew up in the 90s as kids, and even in the 90s, we everything we saw about us was negative. We were the gangsters, we were the drug dealers, we were the undocumented, we were the help in
general labor
and everything that we did. So, like, we didn't get these stories of us being part of such a historic moment to create Apple. I mean, back in those days in school, we were the ones using the Apple computers. You know, this was back when the Apple monitors were them circular,
bubbly
computers. You know, we're playing fucking Oregon Trail on them. Like, we didn't even know. Like, I remember seeing that little Apple logo. I imagine at that age, I was probably like 13, 14. Imagine at that age if I would have known a Mexican person was involved in the creation of that logo and be part of that big ass company. Like the confidence in ourselves, the pride we would have had in our people, in ourselves, in our culture, bro. I'm telling you, like, shit like that is what's that kind of information is what's needed to be put out there, and that's why this podcast is all about that. We make sure that we share all the dope achievements of our culture, of our community, even if it's super late. Like, we just found that out now, and a lot of people are finding about that now. Yeah. And imagine how many more stories like this are out there. Like, how many more companies are out there that had Latino people, Mexican people involved in anything to do with their companies that are now super successful, that we just don't know the backstory of a Mexican person, of a Latino person, or a Latina person that was involved in it. And it's like, it just leaves us out here thinking that we haven't accomplished nothing in life yet, when we've been part of very dope things. So obviously we got to make sure that we share stuff like that when we see something like that, man. And we got to make sure we pass it along to the generations, you know, because it's like, that's the only way we're going to see ourselves as winners. That's the only way we're going to see ourselves as like people that accomplish really dope things in this world, man.
Yeah, you can walk into a room with a different type of confidence and energy. You know what I mean? Like, when you don't think that somebody like you is capable of doing something great.
Capable. That's the word I was looking for. Capable.
You know, when you don't feel like you're, I'll say it again since you liked it, capable of reaching those, you know, those heights, or even like having the talent to draw and get recognition to be like, wow, that's fucking brilliant. You know what I mean? We've never really like put ourselves out there to showcase our brilliantness. Oh, that kind of made me emotional right there. No, but seriously though, like we would never really put ourselves out there to be like, yo, I got a brilliant idea, because in the back of our mind is like, no, that's a stupid idea.
They're gonna think you're stupid if you say that.
Cállate, güey. Let that other guy.
And even we're so we don't believe in ourselves that much, but it's not just us believing in ourselves. Like our own, like we grew up in the era where none of us believed in ourselves.
Yeah.
So even if you told your friend like, hey bro, hey wait, like I think this and that, like, nah bro, don't even say that. They're gonna think you're stupid.
Yeah, fool.
Like we ourselves as a group didn't believe in ourselves. That we didn't want that person to say, because then he's gonna look dumb and he's gonna make all of us look dumb. So we all kind of keep us like, let's just stay here where it's safe. You know, like don't put yourself out there, because they're gonna think we're dumb. They're gonna think you're dumb, and then they're gonna, you know, think we're all dumb.
Laugh at you. They're gonna laugh at us. And then let's just say somebody else comes up with that idea maybe at the same time or a little bit later, and you're like, dude, remember I told you that? You're like, yeah, bro, I guess it was a good idea. And then you just laugh it off and you walk off and forget about it. You know what I mean? But it didn't register to be like, we were kids, you know, you're kids, and you don't register things to be like, you know what? Next time I'm going to fucking voice myself, because if that was a good idea, then my next idea might be as good, or it might even be better. You know what I'm saying? But
no, that's facts, man. And I think that's how, even at this age, we still got to get that out of our system, because we grew up our whole youth believing in that and doubting ourselves. So even at this age, we got to change that mentality, and we have to get that out of our system. But we definitely got to make sure that our kids don't even have an ounce of that in their system. No. You know what I mean? So it's like, one thing is working on ourselves, and of course we got to work on ourselves to be able to help the next generation, man. So that's just what we got to do. We got to keep sharing these type of stories, keep sharing these accomplishments of our community, and man, next thing you know, we're going to keep seeing ourselves more and more in different places and different rooms, because like honestly, I don't want to brag, but Mexicans are some of the best artists in the world, you know what I mean?
That's facts. They draw the jainitas all firme, Holmes.
Like Crucito on Blood and Blood Out, Holmes. No, like Mexicans are some of the best artists in the world. That's why there's some of the best tattoo artists are Mexicans. Some of the best graffiti artists are Mexicans. Some of the, even like, you know, anything, people that do murals, people that do all that are Mexican people.
Back in the day, they got Frida and her husband.
Yeah.
Her husband was doing a piece in the Rockefeller building, bro. Like what the fuck, bro? Like we've been doing dope shit.
Right. And we just got to believe in our art more. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to go too deep on it, but it's like even back when that brand came out, what's that one brand? Ed Hardy. When Ed Hardy came out, they used a lot of Chicano culture artwork. Their lettering,
because
their graphic.
It came from a tattoo community type of deal. So Chicano or Latino influence was heavy there.
And it's like, what did we start seeing? We started seeing like Ed Hardy was like, I never owned any pairs of Ed Hardys because that shit was expensive as fuck.
You started wearing it when it was out of style from fucking Marshall's with fucking Burlington and shit. I was like, Smiley way.
I was like, I'm gonna stick to my South Poles,
fucking mixed Ed Hardy with some fucking South Pole and Echo.
Yeah. No, man, but
you had all the jainitas flocking.
So it's like, when I used to see Ed Hardy and stuff like that, it's like what stopped a Mexican person or Chicano person to put that clothing line out with that kind of graphic? It's because I'm just guessing, but we just see it as like, not everybody's gonna want this. Only our community wants this. But then you see someone put it out there like that, and that shit was the hottest brand that you could be wearing for a minute.
We gotta market better way. We gotta figure, because we're dope. We make shit look sexy, us doing it. but we don't market it to the other, to the outside. We just keep it within us. Somebody else catches this dope fucking creation, and then they go fucking make money off of it. You know what I mean?
No, so nowadays it's dope to see like Dickies is definitely getting people of the culture involved with their promoting and being involved with the company. Pro Club, I don't know who owns that. I don't know if they're Latino or not, but they're heavily involved with the culture. People from the culture are heavily involved in that brand now. And it's
what
like
about that the new company that's doing them Charlie Browns.
Fuck, I can't think of that. Harbor or something?
No, it's called fucking A. They're big. Doesn't it start with an F?
Yes, it does. Fuck.
Somebody that's listening is like, bro, that's that brand that's keeping it real old school Chicano,
Yeah, I think it does start with an F. Yeah, but anyways,
yeah,
they're making sure that they're getting people of the culture to be involved with the companies now, and that's dope because it's like for a long time we're the ones that were wearing that clothes, and we're the ones that are spending big money on that clothes because it's not cheap either. I think probably Ben Davis needs to get with the program, or maybe they already are with the program, but we just need to believe in ourselves more, man. Because
have you seen that Ryan Garcia, Drake, and I think I seen ASAP Rocky or Travis Scott. They're wearing like baggy pants, where it reminds me of our Ben Davis and Solo days,
or like them Jinko days.
Like they're like, what the fuck? They're trying to bring that style back.
Yeah,
like,
no, I can't do that.
I can't do that either. But I'm just saying, is like that used to be the Mexican, the Latino thing.
And this is what they say. Like all styles, they cut. It goes in circles. It's just a cycle. It comes back.
Well, it's the job of fashion influencers to change the style because they need you to continue buying different clothes with. There's nothing else than that. It's just like, how do we get you to redo your whole closet and spend another 10 grand? You know what I mean?
Or even we're talking about Apple. How do we make you buy another phone? We add another camera to it. We add this feature that you can only get on this new one.
Pretty soon the phone's just going to be a camera itself,
right? I mean, they're already watching everything we do. But anyways, man, moving it along, bro. Like we had mentioned last week, man, it just seems like Pendejos of the week are just landing on our lap these days, man. We ain't even trying.
Pause.
No. None of that.
You like pendejos on your lap, huh?
I was going to say a joke, but I don't want to go there, man. I don't want to go there. I don't want to be the pendejo of the week next week.
Ooh.
With my dumb comments that I can say. But anyways, so yeah, man. So we got another pendejo of the week this week, man. And the pendejo of the week this week goes to the Memphis Grizzlies all-star point guard, bro. Doesn't go by the name of Ja Morant. His name is Ja Morant.
So what does he go by?
Ja.
Young shooter?
Yo. So he's a controversial, he's already known as a controversial dude. Wants to have that gangster image, wants to have that gangster persona, all that. So he's already somewhat been called out for before because he's during the games he's done like gun signs, or gun motion with his hands, like he's shooting the opponent team, right?
Why are you doing it right now, man? Can you at least change your gun sideways, bro? Keep it gangsta, vato.
So he's already been controversial and called out for doing stuff like that, and some of the things he's been saying. But just recently, man, he decided to go on IG Live, and he was at a strip club. He was obviously feeling himself, he was
the Devil's Playground.
He was at the Devil's Playground. Decided to go on IG Live. And the problem with this is that he decided to start flashing guns, man. Well, he decided to flash a gun. So he's on IG Live, obviously, where everyone can see you. It's kind of like, I don't know how this goes through someone's head. Like, yo, I'm I'm drunk at a strip club.
Drunk. You said enough.
Exactly. I'm gonna flash a gun and I'm gonna throw gang signs, man.
What gang he throw?
We don't
¿Qué
want.
barrio tira ese güey?
From what I from what I seen, I believe it was throwing up Crips. You know.
Oh, you dropping real names now?
Yo, man, that's-
We usually say it rhymes with drips.
this guy. So yeah, man. So he was at the strip club, decided to go live, flash a gun, throw up gang signs, and just just act wild, And I know
Doing a whole lot of ratchet shit with his friends.
sometimes you want to do ratchet shit with your friends, man, but that doesn't mean you gotta go on IG Live or go live in any app and just expose yourself to the world, Especially if you're an NBA basketball player or any celebrity. Or an athlete where you got endorsements, where you worked so hard to become a NBA player and you're risking it all just to look gangster in front of everybody. It's like people don't realize that people forget the goal of working hard to be an NBA player, working hard to be a football player, working hard to be an actor, working hard to be anything, right?
Yeah.
They want to throw it away and want to be the same hood dude that the TV's portraying, that the music videos are portraying, that the rap music is portraying. And that's obviously not the smartest thing to do, right? So got called out on it, getting suspended for I believe two games. Yeah. And it's just like, bro, like that's not the route you want to take, man. And it's like it's common sense, right? It's like it's not like he went on there and said some wild shit.
Yeah.
He's doing shit that he knows is just way out of line, bro.
Yeah.
Like one thing is going on there throwing up signs. Yeah, sometimes when you're lit and you're hanging with the homies, your fingers start,
woo, Pyru.
Yo, lazy, take it easy, man.
So
you throwing up the opposite gang over here, man. John Moran's gonna come after you, man.
You see what color I'm blanging? Shot fucked that way.
So yeah, man. So yeah, that was obviously dumb. That was not the smartest thing to do.
It makes you think, like, for him to get to where he's at, he has a lot of discipline, bro. Like, he's had to have been at practices and like playing consistently, dedicated, like smart enough to probably miss a bunch of parties and drinking too.
Nah, he was not the type to miss parties.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Okay. And that reminds me of something that Gary V said. Gary V, he's a real cat out there.
Quit riding his dick, bro.
I ain't riding. just
I'm just playing. I know we had just talked about that.
Okay. He said he asked the coach, if there's somebody that a star player that likes to drink, party, hang out at the clubs and strip clubs all night, would you still get him on your team? And the guy said, no, I wouldn't. And Gary Vee is thinking like, yeah, because he's going to be partying all night. He's going to be tired. He's not going to be able to perform at his 100% and whatnot, right? And the guy's like, no. A lot of the times, those guys still outperform everybody else. It's it's his teammates that he's going to take with him to do all that shit. And they're going to sleep in. And they're going to be hungover. And they're not going to be able to, perform to where they need to perform. You know what I mean? So that just reminded me by you saying that, he might have been still doing all the party shit, but still outperforming most of his teammates or opposition as far as teams,
because some people are naturally talented, right?
Yeah.
And gifted, and then there's other people that got to work hard to get to that level, right? So if you're already naturally gifted and talented to be at that level of competition, that doesn't mean your teammates, like you're mentioning, it doesn't mean your teammates can slack off and still meet that standard, right? So
you can fuck up what do they call that? The culture, the morale. No, I forget the term that they use, but one person can fuck up the the energy for the whole team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be that negative thing where it's like, damn, you're so talented and gifted and you deliver and you're a good earner of whatever, you know, but you fuck it up for my whole team.
Yeah.
So for me to protect the team, we gotta figure you out, or you know.
Yeah. And that's why you got to raise your kids to be leaders and not followers, man. Because followers,
You're the leader.
because followers will follow motherfuckers into just nothing, you know, just into a dead end. And obviously that's where people that have this type of attitude end up, you know. Like, look at the example of Sean Kemp. You know, when we was growing up, Sean Kemp was the man.
I looked up to that dude. I just didn't know how ugly he was, bro. Have you seen pictures of this
I don't
dude?
be judging people by their looks, you know. I just
He a ugly some of my bitch.
all right, Bernie Mac. Yo, this guy. Oh, he looked like Bernie Mac, huh?
Nah, don't disrespect Bernie Mac like that. Okay, Sean Kim looks like a reptile.
So check this out. Those are examples of what not to do. Like, look at Sean Kemp. He was the man in the 90s when we was growing up. He had a shoe line. He was the guy, you know.
He had that original South Side fade, bro.
He did have his original haircut. But it's like, now look at him now, bro. Like he from what we've heard, he's homeless in
Shopping
in
at
Seattle.
Walmart, dude. Who shops at Walmart but us peasants?
Right. And just this week, we saw him on the news. He was shooting at some people.
Yeah.
You know, they said it was a drive-by, but it looked like he was not a driver. He wasn't driving.
Mm-mm.
But for what he says is that they stole from him, so then he started shooting at him. And I guess I don't know exactly what state is that. I don't know if it was Seattle where this happened.
Yep. He
but
lives in I forget.
so he said it's like, I guess in defense it's legal over there, right?
Yeah.
So he's out on bail and anything, but
Well, from the last report that I read, and you know, there's so much shit online. So just everybody, if you really curious, go check it out yourself. But I guess he will not be charged with any crime. And
Yeah.
You saw that too?
I saw that too.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, when you're in the NBA and when you're in the spot that so many people work hard to be at, and you don't take advantage of it, and you don't appreciate it, and you don't do your best to hold on to it. Like, look at all these examples of what could happen to you once you start fucking up. Like, people will forget about you. People will start feeling sorry for you. You know what I mean? Like, there's the statistics of athletes already going broke is high enough. Why are you adding all this drama and like criminal reports on top of it? It's just like,
Yeah.
it's just fucking up your legacy, right? So for that, man, Pendejo of the week this week goes to Ja Morant, for a point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, for going to the strip club, getting drunk, hopping on IG Live, flashing guns, throwing up gang signs. And from what I hear, he blew $50K at the strip club, man.
Oh,
so just
shit.
for that alone, he deserves Pendejo of the week, man.
Fucking hurricane over there, man.
Fucking made it rain up there, man. So,
But also Pendejo to the person that was recording him, and Pendejo over friends, bro. You got a circle that nobody's gonna tap you and be like, yo, bro, this is not the move, bro.
That's facts.
This is not the move, bro. You know who you are, bro. You're not on the street no more, bro. You got a blue check on your name. You got a multi-million-dollar contract. You're a star player. Maybe a flashing a gun's not the move, bro.
You got a diamond necklace on you right now that was gifted to you from Nike.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keep good friends around you, like, that don't let you fuck up like this, right? So that's a prime example of hustling backwards way. You work so hard to get where you're at, and you're doing everything possible to just throw it away.
Yeah.
So just for that, man, all that, Ja Morant, Pendejo of the week, man. I think we dropped a lot of stuff that's going on in the culture today, man. You know, again, we just want to thank all the new listeners that are rocking with us. We can't do nothing but appreciate you guys and appreciate everyone that's sharing the podcast with their peoples, with their friends, and just making sure that we keep this thing growing, man. And if you want to continue to support the podcast, you can do it by, let me give you a free let me give you a free. Let me give you some examples of a free way to promote us. You know, you can share us on your IG, share us on your story, on your post. You can tell a friend, send, forward the link to your friends. That's a nice free way to support the podcast. If you want to financially support, you can hit the website, puraculturapodcast.com. You can get yourself a hat. You can get yourself a shirt, a hoodie, a sweater, and all that. That's another way you can support the podcast. And man, and just like that, man, I think it's like I said, shout out to the new listeners, shout out to the day ones, man. We still see you guys rocking with us heavy, and we can't, like I said, we can't do nothing but appreciate that.